Sarah lived alone in a small apartment on the third floor of an old building. She had just moved to the city for work and was still getting used to her new life. Everything seemed normal until the phone call started. It began on a cold Tuesday night. Sarah had just finished dinner and was about to go to bed when her phone rang. She looked at the clock. It was exactly 12:07 a.m. Frowning, she picked up the phone. "Hello?" There was silence on the other end, then a whisper. "Sarah." A chill ran down her spine. "Who is this?" she asked, but there was no reply, just silence. Then the call ended. She stared at the screen, confused. Maybe it was a wrong number? A prank? Shaking her head, she placed the phone on her nightstand and went to sleep. But the next night, it happened again. 12:07 a.m. The phone rang. Sarah hesitated before answering. "Hello?" Again, there was silence, followed by a whisper. "Sarah." Her breath caught in her throat. "Who are you? What do you want?" No answer. The call ended. Now she was scared. She checked the number, but it was unknown. She blocked it, hoping it would stop, but deep inside, she had a bad feeling. The third night, Sarah told herself she was being paranoid. Maybe it was just a prank. But that night, at 12:07 a.m., the phone rang again. This time, she didn't answer. She watched as the screen lit up, ringing for a full minute before stopping. Then she heard something, a faint tapping sound. It was coming from her window. Her heart pounded. Slowly, she turned her head toward the window. Her breath caught in her throat. Outside, beyond the glass, was a dark figure, motionless, watching. Sarah's blood ran cold. She grabbed her phone, hands shaking, and called 911. "There's someone outside my window," she whispered. "Stay on the line, ma'am. Officers are on the way," the operator assured her. She gripped the phone tightly, her eyes never leaving the window. But when the police arrived 10 minutes later, the figure was gone. They searched the area but found nothing. "Are you sure you saw someone?" one officer asked. "Yes," she insisted. "And I've been getting these strange calls." She showed them her call log, but since the number was unknown, there wasn't much they could do. "Keep your doors and windows locked," the officer advised. "If it happens again, call us." Sarah nodded, but she knew something wasn't right. The fourth night, Sarah barely slept. She kept her phone next to her, dreading 12:07 a.m. When the time came, her phone lit up. Unknown caller. She didn't answer. The ringing stopped. Then, a notification. She opened her messages. It was a picture, a blurry image of her bedroom, taken from outside her window. Sarah's stomach twisted in fear. Someone was watching her. Right now. She dialed 911 again. "They sent me a picture of my room. Someone is outside." "Stay inside. Officers are on their way." This time, she didn't move. She sat frozen, gripping a kitchen knife, waiting. When the police arrived, they searched everywhere but found no sign of anyone. "We'll have a patrol car stay nearby tonight," one officer promised. But Sarah knew that whoever was watching her wasn't just anyone. The fifth night, she decided to stay at a friend's place. Her best friend, Lisa, agreed to let her stay over. "Maybe it's just a hacker messing with you," Lisa said, "or a stalker. Either way, you shouldn't be alone." Sarah nodded. "I don't understand why this is happening. I don't have any enemies." That night at 12:07 a.m., her phone rang again. But this time, it wasn't just her phone. Lisa's phone rang too. Both screens flashed. Unknown caller. Terrified, Sarah answered, "Why are you doing this?" This time, the whisper was clearer. "Because I see you." The call ended. Sarah and Lisa stared at each other, hearts pounding. "This isn't just a prank," Lisa whispered. "They know where you are." The sixth night, Sarah decided to leave town. She packed her bags, booked a hotel in another city, and tried to disappear. But at 7 a.m., the call came again. This time, the voice whispered something new. "You can't run." Sarah dropped the phone, her hands shaking. She was hundreds of miles away. How was this possible? She barely slept. In the morning, she checked out and decided to go to the police again. But when she walked to her car, she froze. A note was taped to her windshield. It had only 3 words. "See you soon." The final night, Sarah didn't know what to do. She had changed cities, changed numbers, but the calls never stopped. She was being hunted by something or something that knew everything about her. That night, she sat in her locked motel room, holding her phone, waiting for 7 a.m. The clock ticked closer. 12. 6. She held her breath. 12. 7. The phone rang. She didn't answer. She just stared at the screen, tears in her eyes, praying it would stop. Then, the room went dark. A whisper filled the air. But this time, it wasn't coming from the phone. It was behind her. Sarah turned, her breath caught in her throat. And then, the call ended. The next morning, the motel staff found her room empty. The door was locked from the inside. Her belongings were untouched. The only thing left was her phone, sitting on the bed. At 7 a.m., it rang one last time. And this time, when they answered, there was only one sound, a whisper. "Sarah."